So I know what it's like to go through public brokenness. So I'm not real quick to criticize people when they walk through private brokenness, because I know what it's like to be talked about and to be scolded and to be lied on. Which, by the way, I had no idea that in those days, you know what God was doing? He was beating me out of me. He was getting me to a place where CNN could show up at our church and we could bend over backwards and be as nice as we wanted to, but they could do a fall down the steps nightmare piece on us and say all manner of lies, and we could still sleep good at night, and we could still preach, and we could still push back, and we could still say, to God be the glory. That crowd thought they was going to stop us. Are you kidding me? They just brought more people. They just brought more resources. Hey, our hair began to grow back, and what God did was show me in that day, if you'll keep your mouth shut and be faithful to preach the Bible, I'll turn the spigot on, and CNN can't turn it off. CNN can't turn it off. So no matter how much you failed, your hair always grows back. And God's faithful to restore. And while I'm here having a good time, I might as well just say this. We'll serve public notice on the devil. Don't nobody but my wife and Miss Billy know what I'm about to announce. But see, you guys thought we was playing, right? Look up in here on that camera, huh? We just had one of the best defamation lawyers on the planet take up our case, and they gonna sue the pants off CNN for lying to this church. We'll see you in court, CNN. We'll see you in court. Bunch of lying fake news devils. We gonna sue, hey, we'll sue their pants off. We'll make it the Christian Conservative News Network. We'll own them bunch of devils. So I just thought I'd share that. Since you're excited, I'll go ahead and share this too. He's like, look, we do this for a living. You got a slam dunk case against CNN. They flat out lied about us. They lied about Coburn. They lied about Miss Billy's family. They lied about this church. They lied about me. They lied. You tell them I said so. They're watching. But guess what happened? Remember last week when Newsweek didn't just misquote me. Newsweek made me out to be a homegrown terrorist and said something in quotations that I didn't even remotely say. So the guy on the phone said, well, guess what? We'll sue Newsweek's pants off too, because guess what? You got a slam dunk case against both of them. We'll sue both of them. And then since I'm feeling froggy, I'm just going to jump and say one more thing. Remember when I said keep your mouth shut, God will take care of you? He's suing Pulpit and PN2 for all their stinking lies through all the years. Every last one of them. J.D. Hall, Seth Dunn. I know you're watching right now, you bunch of cowards. We're going to sue every single one of you for the lies that you've told about our church all these years. You don't believe me? See you in court. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. God is positioning you. God is positioning me. God is positioning this church. God is positioning every remnant church in this nation. Every church that stayed open, every church that reopened, every born-again, blood-bought, Bible-believing, courageous pastor with a spine that stood up and said, we don't care what the government says. We do not have any concern for what the news media has to say. I promise you, some of these pastors that pretend to be spiritual, that have been the first ones to put Jews on a boxcar and claim Romans 13 the whole time. CBS said, well, do you think there's a divide between moderate pastors and conservative pastors? I said, absolutely not. There's a divide between courageous pastors and cowardly pastors. That's what the divide is. So I'm going to tell you what's happening right now. They're going to love this, but it's the truth. God is positioning some Samsons. And God's about to bring the whole house down, ladies and gentlemen. These bunch of sex trafficking mongrels are about to be exposed. These bunch of pedophiles in Hollywood are going to be exposed for who they are. I don't care what you think about fraudulent Sleepy Joe. He's a sex trafficking, demon-possessed mongrel. He's of the left. He ain't no better than the Pope and Oprah Winfrey and Tom Hanks and the rest of that wicked crowd. God is going to bring the whole house down. I said he's going to bring the whole house down. He's going to burn the whole thing to the ground. He's going to expose all these bunch of pedophiles. I'm telling you, he's going to expose Kamala Harris for the Jezebel demon that she is. I don't care what they think about me. I'm over it. I'm done with it. I'm telling you, it's time to bring the house down. I'll push the whole thing in myself if I've got to. I'll bring it down on my own head. I'm not going to be silent anymore. It's time for God to bring the house down. I tell you, I'm so sick of HBO and the rest of this crowd saying, well, all y'all do, y'all bunch of Qs, y'all bunch of Qs, y'all bunch of Qs, y'all bunch of Qs, y'all bunch of perverts, and y'all just nervous because you know we got your number. Everybody says, well, when you going to apologize for being a false prophet? When y'all going to get the memo that I didn't get it wrong? Everybody like, well, you know, Trump's back. Trump ain't never went nowhere. He ain't back. He's always been around. He's the legitimate president of the United States of America. I don't care if you stand up or clap or not. I'm telling you, Donald Trump is the legitimate president of the United States of America. You got to smoke a lot of dope in your mama's basement not to believe that fact. I'm done with this mess. Newsom, his days are numbered. Cuomo, his days are numbered. CNN wants to show up and besmirch this man of God's character and say, oh, that church killed an elderly man. Number one, we didn't. Number two, Cuomo killed hundreds of them, and people still vote for his sorry tale. Huh? Huh? I know my wife's about ready to pray. I'm about ready to baptize some people, but I feel like preaching for a few minutes. I said God's about to bring the whole house down. I told somebody that the other day, they said, man, we're working on a project we want you to be part of, and man, it's going to expose some people. What do you think about it? I said, let's expose them all. Let's just bring the whole house down. Burn the whole thing to the ground. Good grief, they already think I'm an insurrectionist. Huh? And I'm telling you, God's about to fix it. I know, y'all like, well, you know, 2024, my hind leg. He's about to show you how big he is this year, not next year, not the next year, not the next. He's about to show his glory. He's about to show his worthiness. He's about to show his value. I'm telling you, it's all getting exposed. They're like, well, y'all been saying that forever. Hey, we playing chess, not checkers. Okay, this ain't just, you know, jump and king me. Oh, no, this is checkmate, devil. This is checkmate, devil, what this is. Checkmate, devil. They all gonna get exposed. Let me tell you what they're finding out right now. They're finding out old Jack from Twitter and old Zuckerberg. What does old Mike Lindell calls him? Suckerbuck. They're finding out that both Twitter and Facebook were so complicit in election fraud that it wouldn't surprise me if both them multi-billionaires go to jail for the rest of their life. I'm telling you, we about to break up big tech. We about to break up these corporations. I'm not playing. People like, well, you just preaching that way because there's 1,000 people under the tent. I'd preach this way if 10 people showed up. And I think 10,000 more are going to show up because they're sick of these motivational pop psychology pastors that just get up and stroke your ego and make you feel better about the fornication you're living in and the wickedness. Hey, God's about to expose all of it. And I'm going to be on the right side of history when he does. I'm going to be on the right side of history when he does. I'm about finished. I don't know why pastors don't talk about this stuff. Well, I do. They don't want to seem crazy. I'm already crazy. People like, do you really think it's that much of an epidemic? Do you honestly believe, we're going to get some more crazy, do you honestly believe, Pastor Locke, that the military uncovered tunnels beneath the Capitol building and beneath the White House and in the Five-Fingered Lakes, do you really believe that they found kids? Yeah, both live ones and dead ones. And if you disagree with that, and if you try to discount that, and if you try to cover that, and if you try to keep that on the DL, you're just as complicit as Hunter Biden and the rest of them bunch of crack-smoking perverts. Now, I'm in rare form right now, praise God. I don't care if we have a meet and greet line or not. Somebody's like, I'll tell you one thing. I can't wait to get back there in that meet and greet line, give you a piece of my mind. Look, I ain't arguing with you. You think it's cool to sex traffic babies? That's cool. Don't ever come back to this tent again. You think it's cool to murder babies? Send money to Planned Parenthood and call it women's health care? Don't ever come back to this tent again. We don't want you. We don't want you up in here. You say you run people off. I know about 20 of them need to go start your own church anyhow, praise God. Huh? Everybody all right? Am I good, baby? Okay. Like my wife says I'm all right, I'll burn this whole tent down in the name of God. I'll bring the whole house down. I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm 45 years old. I won't get another 45. I'll go out shouting for Jesus Christ. I'll go out stomping. I'll go out in a blaze of glory. Yes, I'll go out in a blaze of glory. You got the wrong one if you think I'm going to compromise anytime soon. I'm just getting started good. I'm just getting started good. All right, I got to quit. Let me say this. I'm done. Y'all know I like to be real, so let me just say stuff. You nervous, Kiki? You good? Okay, baby, I'm just making sure. I don't like to freak my kids out. But I do all the time. Social media guys are like, oh my God, we good, Brian? We cool? Okay, good, thank God. I try to be calm at some, I can't. They killing babies. They are taking our children and selling them to billionaires. And Hollywood making movies about it to make us think that it's fake when it's as real as it's ever been, okay? So I'm angry, I'm righteously angry. I got a reason to be angry. I got a reason to lose my voice on a Sunday morning every time. So yesterday, I'm done.
The stunning political scandal that is rocking Capitol Hill. Republican Congressman Mark Foley abruptly resigned Friday after questionable emails he sent to a teenage boy.
Dennis Hastert convicted of a financial crime, part of a scheme to mask something more egregious, his molestation of children.
Hush money used to pay a man who says Hastert sexually abused him when he was 14 years old.
There are now 5 former Ohio State wrestlers accusing Republican Congressman Jim Jordan of knowing about a team doctor's alleged sexual misconduct.
43 men who say they were sexually assaulted, abused, molested, or harassed by Dr. Richard Strauss.
George Nader. His criminal history included multiple convictions for child pornography and child molestation.
This morning, a judge sentenced Ralph Shorty to 15 years in prison. Police caught Shorty in a hotel room with a then 17-year-old boy.
Roy more defiant as more accusers step forward, alleging sexual misconduct.
This is the shopping mall where some say it was common knowledge and not a big secret that Roy Moore would flirt with teenage girls when he was in his 30s.
One accuser says that Moore initiated a sexual encounter back in 1979 when she was just 14 years old.
The new charges against Joel Greenberg.
Sex trafficking of a minor and stalking a political opponent.
Florida Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz allegedly having a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl.
Investigators examining whether he, quote, violated federal sex trafficking laws.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.